What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to the Great Man Podcast. I want to make sure that I explain something to you guys that's kind of in the atmosphere right now, the things that people are talking about, and that's qualified immunity for law enforcement officers. Law enforcement officers, we're basically talking about police, deputy sheriffs, agents, correction officers, anybody acting in the color of the law with a badge, civil, public safety responsibilities. Those are law enforcement officers. So I'm going to try to explain so you can understand what qualified immunity means versus people's concept of what absolute immunity is. There's a difference. Qualified immunity and absolute immunity. Basically, qualified immunity, it protects police officers from being sued for mistakes that they make while they're doing their job. As long as that officer is acting in good faith and following the law. This means that an officer who makes a decision in a tough situation, they make a mistake, they can't be held personally responsible unless it's clear that the mistake and the actions that they took while they made the mistake broke the law like flagrantly. If they flagrantly broke the law, then qualified immunity doesn't protect them. Qualified immunity doesn't count in a situation like that. Police officers not only have the law that they have to follow, but they also have agency policy, protocol, and training that they have to renew every year in what's called in service. Annuals or in service. So if you haven't had your in service, or if you haven't been certified in it, or if you haven't had the training in it, then you are acting outside your scope. Or if your agency just doesn't perform those tasks, period, and you are specifically barred from those type of actions, then you're acting outside your scope of responsibility. An example of that is a corrections officer making an arrest on the street. That's acting outside your scope of responsibility. And the laws are different for different kinds of officers. Like a police officer doesn't chase down a poacher. That's not what they do. You know, you don't have qualified immunity if you're going out there being a vigilante. Now, for a police officer to lose their qualified immunity, the law they violated must be clearly established, though. This means that it needs to be a previous case or law that says that officer's actions were illegal in a very specific way. It can't be any type of gray. It has to be very specific. And it can be hard to make a case for people to win a lawsuit against officers because they must show that officer clearly broke the law, period. Clearly broke the law. It can't be any type of he should know better. They should have known not to do something like that, because it could all go back to if that officer was acting in good faith. So it has to be a clear violation of the law. Qualified immunity. Now, if we're talking about absolute immunity, it's something totally different. Now, absolute immunity, this offers total protection. So let me break it down to you guys. Absolute immunity, unlike qualified immunity, which allows some lawsuits under specific conditions, absolute immunity means that person, that official, that whatever, cannot be sued at all for any actions related to their official duties. This is like having a get out of jail free card for their job related actions. I don't think it's fair, but that's the difference. And that absolutely does not count or cover law enforcement officers. So who gets total immunity? Total immunity, it typically applies to high-ranking officials like judges, legislators, prosecutors. For example, a judge cannot be sued for their decisions made in court, even if someone feels that their decisions were unfair. You can't sue them. The judge is, in my opinion, in the whole sphere of the law, the most powerful person in law. Now, the purpose for absolute immunity is, the idea behind absolute immunity is it allows these officials to perform their duties without the fear of being sued. This helps them make tough decisions without worrying about potential legal consequences. It promotes the idea that they should be able to act in the public's interest without being hindered by lawsuits. So that's the difference. Qualified immunity and absolute immunity. Two totally different things for two totally different types of professions and types of career choices and different people within those ranges. So, hope you got a better understanding. I want you all to make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, and share. And everybody, please train hard, train often, train properly, and train safely. This is the Gray Man Podcast, y'all. See you soon. Peace.